I'm sorry, Izuku. I wish things were different.
Mom, that's not what I needed you to say.
I lost the reaction videos. I'm sorry about that, but I will get them to the intro.
In your arms, without falling to your feet. But there's a side to you that I never knew.
Hyperactive here, and I just saw episode 2 of My Hero Academia, and it was riveting. Okay, so turns out that the first episode wasn't the introduction, it was this one, because it was... Okay, well, let me start from the beginning first. So it picks off of the question that All Might is asking, and immediately after, he goes back into like this scrawny man, and it's like he looks like a troubled teenager, and it's just like who is he a completely different person? So like I was thinking like maybe he's gonna have like a different voice, but he didn't. For Deku to go through everything that he's been through already, his rough childhood, all this resistance, and then to meet his hero, and then to see behind the curtain of what's going on. It's very disappointing for him, like at first, and it looks like that, but it's actually like a blessing in disguise, because not everybody's gonna know the real All Might. He goes back. All right. Okay, so right at the explosion, that's the same slime guy, like right where Bakugo is. Like, what are the odds there? And props to Bakugo for actually having standards with himself, not going to a bar because they're not going to accept him in his high school. So like, he has standards. And then for Bakugo to get captured, like I honestly expected him to get out, like no problem. But like this villain is like tougher than he seems. Like he just seems like a nobody. So then All Might starts running over, and he's just like out of shape completely. And he had like some like bad like battle scar from like a previous fight, and he was impressed with Izuku's like knowledge on the whole thing. He's looking through his notebook, like all the years that he's put into this notebook, like, wanting to be a hero. And he's just like flipping the pages of just like all the different descriptions of these different heroes. And then he runs into like the signature of All Might. So Izuku goes into the same, like the crime scene where Bakugo is, and All Might's there in the crowd with him, but he doesn't know that yet. So like all the superheroes, like all the big time superheroes are coming in, saving the day, sort of. Because like they all they can do is just like save the civilians and do damage control. So like they're kind of stale. They're a stalemate. They're sitting ducks. And they were waiting until another superhero can come by to save the day. Bakugo's getting like hurt bad. Like he's like trying to take this guy out like the best he could, and he even creates like big ass fucking explosions like to get rid of this guy. Like he's desperate to get rid of this guy.
Let me go!
And it's just so bad up to the point to where like it's overcoming him so much. Like normally like Bakugo seems like that type of guy where he's always holding like a serious face, but like. Then all of a sudden, like he's like terrified of this like one thing, and then that hits Izuku because he's known this guy since childhood, and he just like completely ran towards the bad guy, and like all the superheroes are like freaking the fuck out. He's freaking the fuck out. He doesn't even know what he's gonna do. So then like he just refers back to like his notebook, that wooden superhero, and then he just like throws his backpack to kind of like mimic what the superhero, like what that superhero would do. And it actually stuns him. It works for a second, and like he's clawing at the fucking monster, and just to save like Bakugo, and Bakugo's like, what the fuck, and like everybody's just like, what the fuck, really, like, and then like All Might's like he's just like looking at this, and he's like it's like I have to do something, and then you just like see him like his scrawny arms, like he's like just like this scrawny man. And like he's like grabbing like onto this like post, and then he's like gripping it, and then he starts like getting a lot bigger. He's starting to go into his battle form or his hero form, and it's just like I wonder what was going through like All Might's mind, because like if he can push his limit that far, wouldn't he have pushed his limit beforehand? But oh my god! So like you have Izuku like saving Bakugo as best as he can, and then like the monsters just like he recovers, and he's about to like kill the little fucker, and like just like right as he's right there, like in a blink of an eye, you just hear like a zing, and then like it just gets very quiet, and then it's just All Might right there, just like boom, and he tells Izuku, "Here I am giving you a lecture on what it takes to be a hero, but I'm not standing up to my own ideals." and then that's where like he like backs up, and then he like charges up like a super punch, and then he gives him a Detroit smash, and like he hits him so hard, the ricochets like it's like the winds of like a hurricane, like I'd say like traveling at like 70 to 90 miles per hour. That's how powerful this punch is. And he hits the bad guy so hard, he changes the weather. Like, it starts raining and shit. And everybody's just so, like, they're just stunned, they're quiet. And then they're just, like, looking. You know, like, you're looking at, oh my, he's standing. And then he, like, tilts back, and then he, like, comes back for, like wow, like he gave 110% of what he had, of what he was. And, you know, like, paparazzi, like, comes and, like, hits him up. And, like, everybody's, like, cheering on for him. Yeah, all might. And you finish the crime, like, you know, after everything, you know, after Izuku and Bakugo like regains consciousness, Izuku's getting chewed out by the superheroes, which, like, I mean, come on, like, they're chewing him out, and he has no powers, and here he is, like, you know, putting himself like on the line to save him, and not even like the superheroes with the quirks could do it, and like he's getting chewed out. Like, I think that's bullshit. Come on, like, that's bullshit. And Bakugo's getting praise for being like courageous. Like, okay, like, yeah, he was kidnapped. I guess he's traumatized from it, and they would try to want to make him feel better. And I think Bakugo even knows that too, because you had all these like heroes praising him, like, well, that's a super cool quirk. I'm gonna get you in my agency like that. And, you know, he's just upset, like, and he's getting praised too. For an egotistical character, he's getting praised, and he's just pissed the fuck off. And then in the flesh, like, All Might just like comes here, like, it'd be so cool, like, if it's a gag, like, every time All Might shows up, it's just like, I'm here. And then he talks about Izuku and what he did and what it takes to be a real hero. And that's where the feels started coming, and the man tears were kind of coming up. Yeah, he thought back of what his own mom said to him. And, you know, here he is with his idol, his hero, telling him, you have what it takes to be a hero. It's just so unbelievable. Like, you know, to me as an audience member, and to him, like, for All Might to tell him, you have what it takes to be a hero. And then he offers, like, will you be my disciple? And that is the intro. That is the beginning of My Hero Academia, and I just want to know where this is going to go now. Like, now that we got everything lined up, now we know who the character is, where his destination is finally. I feel like there's more and more space to see, like, what's going to come up, like, you know, in the future episodes. There's so many possibilities that's going to open up, and I'm excited to see it. So, damn. Really good episode. Oh, God. It really brought up those man tears a little bit. And, you know, just All Might, Bakugo, they're badass. Izuku, I know Izuku's going to be a badass. He has to be. He has to be a badass if he's going to be the best. Plus, he's been persistent. His whole life, he's been, like, writing off on this, like, whole notebook. So, dude, of course he's going to freaking be cool. So, that was the end of episode 2. I'm ready for episode 3. Let's begin.
They're strong, but my knees were far too weak to stand in your arms.
Before you leave, I didn't mention this in the before videos, but I don't really care about this. If you want to subscribe, go ahead and subscribe. Like the video if you like the video. You know, stick around because it's just me talking about what I think about this series. I have some other stuff, some sketches, like some nutrition, health, fitness, stuff like that, like on the side. If you want to check them out, go ahead and check them out. But I'm going to be more focused on this anime series because it is just so bomb. Okay, so see you on the flip side for episode 3.